welcome to our final Q&A episode in this series that has focused on the many aspects of longevity. I'm your host, Dr. Bo Harstein. Throughout this series, we've connected you with industry experts to share genetic tools that can make longevity her legacy. Today, we're joined by Kevin Jorgensen, Senior Sire Analyst at Select Sires, and Mitch Breunig, Owner-Operator at Mystic Valley Dairy in Wisconsin. Kevin, Mitch, thank you both for joining us today.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Good to see you, Bo.
Good to see you both. Throughout this Q&A series, we have gained a better understanding about genetic tools to create the next generation of healthy, trouble-free cows. This is the foundation of making longevity her legacy. But today, I'd like to shift the narrative to make longevity your legacy and talk a little bit about how producers can benefit from later lactation cows. I want to lead our discussion by asking Mitch, can you tell us a little more about your farm and specifically your older lactation cows?
Yep, we have a 450 cow registered Holstein farm, and we have about 550 young stock, about 1,000 acres, and currently our cows are producing about 105 to 110 pounds of milk per day, and we have a cell count under 100,000 and a preg rate over 30.
Do you have any advice or suggestions for a progressive producer who's trying to prepare themselves for accommodating these longer-lived, larger cows?
Yeah, I think it's really important that you look at what the stall design is in your farm, and many years ago when we had 46-inch stalls, we had a struggle to get cows that lived a long time, and we remodeled our barn. We made stalls that were wide enough and big enough for older cows, and immediately that paid dividends because those cows were just so much more comfortable, and comfortable cows produce a lot of milk, and it helps them live a long time because they're not losing that energy of stress from not being able to fit comfortably in a stall. And one of the main things that we did that really made a difference is our curtains on the outside of our barn. We had to redo those, and we extended the front of our stalls 18 inches when we put new curtains on, and our herd average immediately went up 2,000 pounds of milk. It's just because those older cows were just so much more comfortable.
That's really great information.
I'll add a little story in on this that I was here one time when this process began, and he would run from one side of the barn to the other and jump into the stalls to say, is this a comfortable stall? And we would look at the cows as they laid in the stalls, and they'd laid corner to corner instead of straight in. And it was pretty pronounced that once those improvements were made, you could see the cows just were far, far more comfortable.
That's great.
And so as you have a goal to have older cows, which we all need to desire to do, you got to make sure your facility is set up to be able to handle those cows.
And Kevin, I understand that you've worked with Mitch for quite a while. Can you tell us a little bit more about that relationship?
Well, absolutely, Bo. And obviously the two of us have been we're together in college and began our relationship with Select Sires in Mystic Valley Dairy back in 1999 as an SMS consultant. And so I've had the opportunity to work with the dairy and the farm and the cows for a really, really long time. Over time, that morphed into more not just a consultant, but we own a lot of cattle together. What started as a little project of 4 head is grown into well over 100. And so I have a unique situation here, not only my duties to Select Sires, but also as a friend and partner and collaborator here at the dairy. And I'm blessed that Mitch puts a level of trust in me to be able to look at the data on the farm as a whole, to be able to really truly measure the metrics here, which ultimately helps me do my job better because I've got real life experience and metrics to be able to do that.
Very good. I know you're both very successful at what you do, and you're a perfect pair of experts for this Q&A series. And so I'm going to go back to Mitch. Mitch, what advantages do longer living cows provide for Mystic Valley Dairy?
Well, there's a couple of things that they provide an advantage for us. Two that come to top of mind are pounds of solids per cow. That's kind of a new metric that people are looking at across our industry is, how many pounds of solids are you shipping per cow per day? And our goal is to get to 8. We haven't made it to 8, but as an industry, people are, talking more like, well, 6 is kind of that minimum place to be. Well, for the last 12 months, we've been over 7 pounds every day, for the year. And when we're able to produce that amount of milk, it really makes actually the second part of that equation, the income over feed cost. And so, we want to, on any dairy, you want to feed cows, produce milk, and sell the output. And income over feed cost is a way to measure that profitability, because that's going to be where our money comes from. And so if we're able to have those older cows producing a lot of milk, and that helps the financial position of the dairy. And then the other thing that we have is, because we have older cows that have sort of gotten there because we have a lower cull rate, we're able to sell other cows to other farms for dairy purposes. And in the past several years, we've actually between 150 to 200, and in the history of our dairy farm since 2003, we've actually sold 2,800 cows to other farmers, and that's like having a complete dispersal 7 times.
That's really impressive. And so, Kevin, you're seeing the advantages of longer living cows there at Mystic Valley. What else do you see in the industry? Do you see producers reaping the benefits of well-rounded indexes like herd health profit dollars? Do they need it? Do they want it?
I certainly think so, Bo. And just to tie back a little bit to here, the selection parameters here have always been well-rounded, index-driven, and I think it's been part of the secret of success. So what Mitch was talking about with those older cows, whenever we're talking about anything on this dairy and I see the metrics or get the production reports from the parlor, the old cow pen is sort of the barometer of the entire dairy. So as what we call pen 1 is how that pen goes, so goes the dairy. And I don't think that's unique just to this farm. I think it's translatable to other dairies as well. So when those old cows are really doing well, paying the bills, running in road gear and doing very well, those are the pieces that really make a well-operated dairy run well. As it comes to things like HHP dollars, that index just has a little more completeness to it. It's a little more balanced in terms of not focusing only on just health, just production. It's all encompassing with a little more balance all the way throughout of it. And then one of the things I see in my travels, and we as a sire team, have made some really protracted efforts to do more in mastitis resistance, and it's been a major initiative over several years, and heard about it in other sessions of Make Longevity Your Legacy. Every time I have that conversation with a producer about more mastitis resistant cows, you've got a captive audience immediately. They're seeing the benefits of that. They know if cows are going to live longer, they need to have some of those unique traits to allow them to stay in the herds longer. And so any index that puts those longevity traits at the forefront, whether it's mastitis, whether it's productive life, in combination with the production and other fitness traits, I think that's a great selection tool that can meet a wide-ranging group of customers.
Excellent points. And finally, Mitch, how have longer living cows made an impact on the future of your family and your farm?
Well, as I said before, it kind of gives us a different opportunity, and we're able to sell cows to other farms. We're able to have enough replacements for our farm. I think about, the stalls in my barn as sort of being apartments for rent. And each one of those apartments is a very valuable piece of real estate. And I want to have the very best possible cow in that stall every day. And so by having long living cows, there's a pretty good chance that cow is producing a lot of milk. She's healthy. She's able to get to the parlor, and, she's hopefully a low maintenance cow, and having those cows in those slots really help our farm be profitable. And if we have a cow that, is underperforming or, maybe not doing as well, because we have enough replacements, because our cull rate is low, we're able to say, well, let's replace that cow with a different cow, because we want to have, the best possible 400 cows we can have.
I like that analogy. You're the owner operator, but you're the landlord. You make sure the cows are earning their spot.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And Kevin, I'm going to ask you the same question. How have longer living cows made an impact on the future of your farm and your family?
Well, obviously here with our partnership and the ability for us to continue to build and grow this herd of cows to being not only great for Mystic Valley, but for those people that buy those cows from here that go on and do well, and creating a premium product. That one of the things we always talk about is when we're marketing cows, we need to be at the top of the market, whatever the market is. And the only way you do that is with the right set of cows. We get accused every once in a while of looking at some funny metrics. One of the things that we look at is lifetime total milk of the cows that are born here and leave here. And over the last 24 months, the group of cows that have been here and left, and not for dairy reasons, but just to be here as a member of the herd, is tickling 90,000 pounds per cow. We would like that to be 100,000 pounds per cow. That cow could be, every cow that was born here and lives here on average makes 100,000 pounds of lifetime milk. That just adds to the profitability. And again, I don't think we're unique in that circumstance. I think other farms, every time they can raise the bar, a lot of averages we've seen in that is more in the 60,000 pound range. So if you can double the productivity or 65% of the increase in the productivity of every cow on average, that has a huge economic impact for either sustainability, for growing in the future, to adding and becoming a larger operation. There's just a lot of opportunities that make long living cows just a bedrock of dairy sustainability in the future.
Great points. You brought up an important concepts like sustainability, and it makes me think of something that we use a lot at presentations at Select Sires: skate to where the puck is going. You guys are doing that, and I think that you'll reach some of those goals sooner than you think. And so with that, I appreciate both of you spending time with us today to help our farmer owners understand the value of cow longevity and how to make longevity your legacy on the dairy. We're all aware that genetic decisions made today impact the future of your herd and the future of the dairy industry as a whole. The long-term and industry-wide benefits of healthier cattle are numerous, and importantly, emphasis on health traits secures profit margins regardless of the milk market, making your business more sustainable for the next generation. And for our viewers, and especially for our customer owners, we hope that this Q&A series has provided you information that will help make your business and your herd more sustainable for the next generation. Thank you all for tuning in to our longevity Q&A.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you.